water-damaged basement in Prince George's County, Maryland. Welcome back to another edition of Sunday Songs. Thanks for being here, guys. Welcome home, my son. It's been so very long. I know that you're here to surrender. The disappointing days I suffered at your age were more than I'd care to remember. Before you throw the towel and turn your engines out, don't expect to spit all that you tasted from your mouth. After all you've seen, the most you'll hope to be is pretending to be a pretender. The years that I've been through, I met a gentle few who say that they love and they mean it. The others that I met, they're decent folks, I guess, but all that they love is achievement. The swagger and the dress, the trappings of success, the butter and the milk of what it takes to get ahead. Every given night, you catch them dead to rights, painting their name on the ceiling. Remember in the end that many of your friends would rather be dead than uncertain. They want a simple yes, or even better yet, a promise the next life is perfect. I promise that it's not, but then what have they got? Only 50 years they never gave a moment's thought. Anyone they find who tells them otherwise, they'll follow him backwards and shirtless. Welcome home, my son. It's been so very long. I know that you're here to remember. Thank you. That's a song of mine off a record called The Great Despiser. If I wrote that song today, it would have about half as many words. But I wrote it when I was younger, so I was trying to cram a lot of stuff in there. Here, let's play another song I wrote when I was a lot younger, but this one I managed to do with much fewer words. Silver cans in bronze-colored dirt. Silver cans in bronze-colored dirt. Things end so soon, neath the parking lot moon. Silver cans in bronze-colored dirt. She said, let's call it quits. Let's not call it the end of the world. Call it what you will. I'm heartbroken still. Words are just words. Road salt on I-95. Road salt on I-95. Forget what you're told, it's bound to get cold. Oh, there's road salt on I-95. I call today a disaster. She calls it December the 3rd. Call it what you will, I'm heartbroken still. Words are just words. On a brief and star-stricken night, on a brief and star-stricken night, I called her name on the road from Spokane. On a brief and star-stricken night, I hear a blue heron crying. Some folks just call it a bird, call it what you will, I'm heartbroken still. Words are just words. Some call an end a beginning, but for right now they'll go unheard. Call it what you will, I'm heartbroken still. Words are just words. Thank you. Here, why don't you guys throw down in the comments where you're at tonight. I'm gonna play one more song here and we'll check out where you guys are at. So just in the live chat or in the comments, toss down where you're listening from tonight. When the party starts on Monday and Christmas starts in June, when no one minds I just arrived and I'll be leaving soon. If I return with eyes half open, don't ask me where I was. I do my father's drugs. When every revolution is sponsored by the state, there's no bravery in bayonets in tearing down the gates. If you see me with a rifle, don't ask me what it's for. I fight my father's war. When hunger strikes a fashion and freedom is routine, when all the streets in Cleveland are named for Martin Luther King, you will see me at the protest, but you'll notice that I dread. I burn my father's flag. When the party starts on Monday, Christmas starts in June, when no one minds I just arrived and I'll be leaving soon. If I return with eyes half open, don't ask me where I was. I do my father's drugs. I do my father's drugs. Thank you. Okay, let's see where you guys are at. All right. Got Bradenton, Florida. Saying what's up. Oh, that's a first. This is a first. Nick Spanos is in Laramie, Wyoming. Definitely a first. Christopher's in Arlington. Lots of bite, but also warmth. Thank you for the compliment on my guitar. Christopher, I appreciate it. Hey, right down the parkway from me in Elk Ridge, Maryland, is Aaron. Let's see. By the campfire with two fingers of Breckenridge in Columbia, Maryland. Oh, Jeremiah. I grew up with old Jeremiah. How you doing, Jeremiah? I hope you're all right, man. I haven't seen you in forever. I saw your sister last time I played in San Francisco years ago. Let's see. Travis is in North Carolina. East Nashville, Tennessee is Miss Lydia Manuel. Wayland, Massachusetts. My man from Prilia Barbecue, who always brings me great barbecue when I play in Portland, is in the house. Chicago's in the house. Eric in Grand Rapids in the house. Jeremy Peterson, the most Minneapolis Nordic name of all time, is of course from Minneapolis. Lots of Petersons in Minnesota. George is in the house. Dakota's calling in from New York. Andrew's in Chapel Hill. This is great. I love seeing all you guys. This is so fantastic. Oh, here's a pretty feral comment here. I like this. Joe Bug song you can please. That is like the most drunk Scottish comment on a Facebook post I've ever seen in my entire life. I love it. That's fantastic. All right, let's do another tune. Across from the prison and beside the Great Lake, below the rooftops and above the highway, spirits pay rent on the basements they haunt, and the painters just draw pictures of the things that they want. Cook my dinner on the blacktop street. I come from the nation of heat. Outside the train station there's an old painted sign. It says, try to be patient, don't forget to choose sides. We got the loudest explosions you ever heard. Got $2 soldiers and $10 words. If I didn't own boots, I wouldn't need feet. I come from the nation of heat. So swift and so vicious are the carnival rides. In the carnival bark we'll hear your name for a bribe. We got billboards full of Japanese cars. It ain't rare to hear the streetlights call themselves stars. The more that I learn, the more that I cheat. I come from the nation of heat. I've seen skeleton mothers and hungry folks. Across the street from the kitchens that cook dinner the most. Sometimes you hear whispers by the dark of the moon. And we promised too much and gave it too soon. Even our coughs and our fevers can beat our combination. Blocking borders with smiles, our immigrant sons. We measure loneliness in miles and misery in tons. There's a straw-headed man rowing away from the shore. He says it's a shame they don't let you have slaves here anymore. I'm the ugliest man they'd surely ever meet. I come the nation of you. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Let's see. Matt's outside of Bend, Oregon. Let's see. James says, we miss you in Indianapolis. Thanks, James. I miss Indianapolis, too. I dig Indianapolis. Go. Okay, here we go. Oh, all right. Here we go. So, Jack Browning's in Australia. He says, I'm tuning in for Maxim. So this is what this is. Let's do this right now. I got a message this week. I got a message this week. Yeah, I'll read it to you. I'll show you the message. How do I take that one off the screen? Here we go. Here's the message I got this week. Hey Joe, great show last weekend. I tuned in 11 a.m. Monday morning in Melbourne, Australia. I'm writing to you because I'm a big fan, but my brother Maxim Webster was a huge fan. Maxim passed away 7 weeks ago in a tragic accident at the age of 26. Maxim gave me your first 2 albums to listen to about 9 years ago because he knew I'd love you. He was right. Since he passed, I've been listening to your music nonstop because you're the one artist I shared with him the most and associate most with him. A huge comfort, your music in the sad times. Hence why I tuned in live last week and will be every chance I get. Makes me feel like he's still with me. I was wondering if it's not too much trouble if you'd be able to play a song for him next Sunday night, How Good You Are, or anything really. Yes. And this is from Sam Webster. You got it, Sam. And so we will send this to your brother Maxim, who is in a better place than we are right now. Born into a circus, but I ran off to join a home. Oh, they said that I was worthless, that my family died unknown. So it gets in cycles, that's what you get, I suppose. It wasn't something more than a life of walking ropes. Christians left behind at the crossroads of your town. Oh, they're playing truth or dare 'neath the sanctuary now. Some wish they had the truth, some wish they had to go. But there ain't no sense in even from the holy game, you know. Oh, I know how good you are, how hard it is, how good you are. There's a butler in your hallway. He is troublesome and old. He repeats the word of life to describe your family growth. You ask him please to go. There's one thing you don't know. He carved April 7th, 65 into the side of your piano. How good you are, how hard it is, how good you are. Everything that you were meant for, everything that you were born to do, does not need you to do it. Someone else was born to do it too. Like a half-grown man, you barely learn how to stand. If you shut up with what you've chosen, you'll hear something choosing you. Oh, I know how good you are, how hard it is, how good you are. Raise a glass if you have one to Maxim tonight. I am the day, I am the dawn, I am the darkness coming on. I'm once, I'm twice, I am the whole, I'm just a slice. Some call me gone, some call me here, none are wrong, none are near. I am right now, I am back then, I will return, don't ask me when. I am the disappointed kiss, I am the unexpected harvest. I am the old Kentucky home, I am the son who runs the farthest. I have done wrong, I will do wrong, there's nothing wrong with doing wrong. And I am faith, I am belief, except for when I'm not. I am the teeth of champions, I am rust and water rot. And I'm sleep, I'm breathing, I'm the missing of the passing seasons. I am the brush, I am the strokes, I'm sickness come to the best of folks. I am renewed, I am just made, I am unchanging. I'm a pasture fenced about the edge, I am Dakota thunder raging. And by my shoes and by my feet and by my soul and wonder, I am the tracks we've laid above, I am the tunnel I'm running under. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to cover a few songs tonight by probably the best one of the best songwriters of her generation, and certainly one of the best living American songwriters. One of my favorite. I'm going to play you a couple tunes by Gillian Welch, and this is the first time that I'll be doing this, but this will not be the last time on this program that I cover some Gillian Welch. I am an orphan on God's highway, and I share my troubles if you go my way. I have no mother, no father, no sister, no brother. I am an orphan girl. I have had friendships, pure and golden, but the ties of kinship, I have not known them. I know no mother, no father, no sister, no brother. I am an orphan girl. When he calls me, I will be able to meet my family at God's table. I'll meet my mother, my father, my sister, my brother. No more an orphan girl. Blessed Savior, make me willing and walk beside me until I'm with Him, and be my mother, my father, my sister, my brother. I am an orphan girl. I am an orphan girl. Gillian, straight for the jugular, man. I love that song for a lot of reasons, but when you drill down on it and you read just the detail of the lyrics with everything switching from I am an orphan girl, I know no mother, no father, I have no sister, no father. Like, it just, she really drills down on the details in a way a lot of people don't. And this is another favorite of mine of hers. standing on the corner with a nickel or a dime. There used to be a rail car to take you down the line. Too much beer and whiskey to ever be employed. And when I got to Nashville, there was too much soldier's joy. Wasted on the wayside, wasted on the way. If I don't go tomorrow, you know how I'm going today. Back, baby, back in time. I wanna go back when you were mine. Back, baby, back in time. I wanna go back when you were mine. Black highway, all night ride, watching the times fall away to the side. Clear channel, way down low, it's coming in loud, my mind let go. Peaches in the summertime, apples in the fall. If I can't have you all the time, then I won't have none at all. Well, I wish I was in Frisco with a brand new pair of shoes. Instead I'm here in Nashville with no man's Nashville blues. So come on, you good time rounders, listen to my sound and drink around for Nashville before they tear it down. Back, baby, back in time. I wanna go back when you were mine. Back, baby, back in time. I wanna go back when you were mine. Hard weather, driving slow, buggies and whips in town for the show. Oh darling, the songs they played, and all I got left is the love we made. Back, baby, back in time. I wanna go back when you were mine. Yeah, back, baby, back in time. I wanna go back when you were mine. That's Gillian Welch. Yeah, I think that tune's off of her record Soul Journey, that her and her partner Dave Rawlings, I think they produced it themselves right after their breakthrough album Time the Revelator. All right, well, let's before we get some, you can start throwing down in the comments and in the live chat some requests and some questions that you have. But before we do that, it's time for our Bone Pile segment. And if this is your first time watching Sunday Songs, one of the segments we do here is I dig through all of the old demos that I've done, and I pick a song that I've never released, usually for good reason. It hasn't been released, but I play it here because why not? It's casual. I'm not worried about this, sticking around for posterity. I just want to play you guys, a little bit of the process of what it's like to write songs and stuff like that. So without further ado, we call this segment Bone Pile, and the song for this week's Bone Pile is a song called The Deep End. You know just why I came here tonight, in the cold without a coat. You can come outside or stay behind, but the time has come, you can't do both. You're always waiting for the perfect chance. I'm here to tell you that it don't exist. So if not now, then when? Shut up, jump in, both feet deep in. If not now, then when? I don't care about those starry dreams the waking world has never found. Who you thought you were at 17, or where you thought you'd be by now. You're always looking out to hedge your bets. Well, someday let me know just where that gets. 'Cause if not now, then when? Shut up, jump in, both feet deep in. If not now, then when? Not now, then when? Shut up, jump in, both feet deep in. If not now, then when? So that's this week's Bone Pile, song called Deep End. And now we're going to head to America's favorite time to cry, Soft Boy Pony. This week we got another poem by my favorite poet, Steve Scafidi. If you haven't noticed, about 50% of the poems on here that we do are by him, but I just love his work. This is a poem from a collection called Sparks from a 9-Pound Hammer. My favorite work of his is actually called From the Cabinet Maker's Window, so if you're going to start with a Steve Scafidi work of art, I would start with this one, but the particular poem we're going to read tonight is from Sparks from a 9-Pound Hammer, and this is a really, this poem is funny as hell. Here we go. It's entitled, To Whoever Set My Truck on Fire. But let us be friends a while and understand our differences are small, and that they float like dust in sunny rooms, and let us settle into the good work of being strangers, simply who have something to say in the middle of the night. For you have said something that interests me, something of flames, footsteps, and the hard, heavy charge of an engine gunning away into the June cool of 4 in the morning here in West Virginia, where last night I woke to the sound of a door slamming, 5 or 6 fading footsteps, and through the window saw my impossible truck bright orange like a maverick sun, and ran I did, panicked in my underwear, bobbling the dumb extinguisher, too complex it seemed for putting out fires, and so grabbed a skillet, and jumped about like one needing to piss, while the faucet, like honey, issued its slow, sweet water. And you, I noticed then, were watching from your idling car, far enough away I could not make out your plate number, but you could see me, half naked, figuring out the puzzle of a fire 30 seconds from a dream never to be remembered, while the local chaos of a growing fire crackled through the books and boots burning in my truck, you bastard.
You watched as I sprayed finally the flames with a garden hose under the moon. And yes, I cut what was surely a ridiculous figure there, and worsened it later that morning after the bored police drove home lazily, and I stalked the road in front of my house with an axe in my hand and walked into the road after every car to memorize the plates of who might have done this. LB 7329, NT 7663. And you may have passed by, I don't know. You may have passed by as I committed the innocent numbers of neighbors to memory, and maybe you were miles away, and I, like the woodsman of fairy tales, threatened all with my bright axe shining with the evil joy of vengeance and mad hunger to bring harm, heavy harm, to the coward who did this. And if I find you, my friend, I promise you, I will lay the sharp blade deep into your body until the human grabbing hands of what must be death have mercy and take you away from the constant murderous swinging my mind, my words make swinging down on your body, and may your children weep 1,000 tears at your small and bewildered grave. Man, I know Steve, and he won't really tell me if that actually happened or not. I hope it did. I can't imagine being able to write a poem like that if it didn't. So there's Steve's graffiti. Again, grab that's from this collection, Sparks from a 9-Pound Hammer. But if you're going to start with him, I'd start with the Cabinet Maker's Window here. All right, let's see what songs you guys want to hear. I'd love to play some songs. Hey, it's my friend Chris O'Hearn down in Australia saying hello. Where are you? What's up, Chris? How you doing, man? Co-write with Steve's Graffiti. Steve has been over to this studio here, and we tried to write a song, and it came out really shitty. I'm not going to lie. I think that was more due to me than to him. But what are you going to do, man? Let's see. So let's do some questions here. Andy Kretschmer, do you have any songwriting pet peeves, cliches, tropes, etc.? I really don't. I don't. I try not to get too judgy with songs. I try not to. I think if you do this for a living, you really run the risk of, in some way, becoming a snob about music or elitist about music. And I think one of the ways is that starts to happen is you come up with all these little rules in your mind of what you like and what you don't like. We had this guy on the podcast, the Working Songwriter, a couple months ago. If you don't listen to that podcast, by the way, you should. It's called The Working Songwriter. Every Friday, I interview songwriters that I love. It's in the Apple iTunes store. Go grab it. But this songwriter named Shane McAnally was on, and he's written a bunch of number one hits, and he said that he attributes his ability to write songs that connect with people to the fact that he just listens to music like an ordinary person. He says, like, he just kind of listens to it, and it either gives him a feeling or it doesn't. He's not listening for chord changes. He's not listening for like some clever turn of phrase. He's just listening, and if it makes him feel something profound, then it's working. And be damned whatever chord progression it is, or whatever stylistic trope you have going on there. Like, it doesn't matter if it's making you feel something. So he certainly expressed that a lot more eloquently than I could right here. But I'm definitely from the same school of thought. So no, I don't really have any pet peeves. I like to come pretty much tabula rasa every time I'm writing and not judge anything. Let's see. Luke wants to hear Rough Around the Edges by Courtney Marie Andrews. I love Courtney Marie Andrews, and I wish that I could play this song off the top of my head for you. You know what? I will cover Courtney Marie Andrews next week. That's what I'll do. She'll be our guest artist, and maybe I'll do that one. Let's see. Let's see. Who wants to hear something? Okay, Mando wants to hear The First Time I Saw You. You got it. Let's do it.
First time I saw you, I saw crimson, I saw dark blue. Saw the ocean we would drive to say our goodbyes. I saw winter, I saw new moons. Saw a heavy-hearted bridegroom. Saw the color of your bedroom and the whites of your eyes. Don't ask me how I knew. It's the first time I saw you. First time I saw you, I saw somebody that I knew. I recognized you from our first glance. See, I seen my share of counterfeits, and I used to have them hang around a bit. But once you seen yourself with genuine, there ain't no going back. Don't ask me how I knew. It was the first time I saw you. Last time I saw you by the ocean like we both knew. Now I guess that I'm supposed to tell you that I'm doing fine. It was the last time that I held a hand. Was the last time that I gave a damn. I don't think I'll ever understand why I never found the time. I saw crimson, I saw dark blue. Last time that I saw you, the last time that I saw those two, was the first time I saw you. Thank you. That one was for, I forget who that one was for. Sorry. I forgot. We always love it during this part of the show if you can hit the tip jar. And if you can't hit the tip jar, do me a favor and just tell a friend about this show. Spread the word. Text somebody after the show. Text them a link. Tell them it's every Sunday night at 9 p.m. And that helps me just as much as giving a tip. So thanks for doing either one of those things. I really appreciate it. Let's see what else you guys want to hear. James says, my wife walked down the aisle to this song. You owe me some royalties, bro. Where they at? Thank you. That's wonderful. Let's see. Yeah, Jessica wants to hear Pair of Shadows. You got it. You got it. If they're going to make a shadow out of me, well, I guess I'll be the shadow of that post oak tree in the forest by your house where we used to meet. If they're going to make a shadow out of me, if they're going to make a shadow ahead of you. Well, I hope to catch the briefest glimpse as you go passing through, as the shadow of the Lincoln we drove to school. If they're going to make a shadow out of you, lines will disappear as we grow darker, darker than we planned for at the start. The light of morning will get even farther until at last you can't tell us apart. So if they're going to make a shadow out of us, casting downward to the valley from an Appalachian bluff, I was born, then I loved you, I guess that was enough. If they're going to make a shadow out of us, if they're going to make a shadow out of us.
There you go. I think that one was for Jessica. Okay, let's see what else you guys want to hear. Let's see. Okay. Reverb 30 is it wants to hear Still It Can't Be Found. You got it. You got it.
There's a road I have, hold on. There's a road I have known I could always find. If I walked ahead, I could look behind. If I fell behind, I could always know. If it's not around this corner, it's around the next. If it's not beyond this river, it's beyond the rest. And if still it can't be found, it's probably for the best. There's a hand I have known I could always hold, through the night so long, through the day so fair. If I lost my grip, I would not despair. If it's not around this corner, it's around the next. If it's not beyond this river, it's beyond the rest. And if still it can't be found, it's probably for the best. So I'll keep working on and often, so you can hear the echoes of my steps. If it's not around this corner, it's around the next. If it's not beyond this river, it's beyond the rest. And if still it can't be found, it's probably for the best. If still it can't be found, it's probably for the best. There's a road I have known I could always find.
Thank you. Thanks for the request. I'm going to play you guys one more tune here. Let's see what you want to hear. Hey, that was a good times back when we could still tour. Listen to your collaboration with the Killers lead singer doing this in Amsterdam. Yes, indeed. We did sing that together. That's what brought me on tour with him, is he heard that song, amazingly enough. All right, I'm going to leave you guys with one more song here. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us here for Sunday Songs. Thanks for hitting the virtual tip jar if you can. If not, please tell a friend about the show. Next week, Sunday Songs, I have a very, I think I have a technological breakthrough for next week, Sunday Songs. I've been working very hard on this, and God willing that nothing goes wrong on the tech side, but I think we're really going to impress next week. So I hope you'll join us then. I hope you'll tell a friend about the show and tell them to come by Sunday nights at 9 p.m. And thanks for being here. I'm going to leave you with this one, and I'll see you next week.
Yet I've come to know the wish list of my father. I've come to know the shipwrecks where he wished. I've come to wish aloud among the overdressed crowd. Come to witness now the sinking of the ship, throwing pennies from the sea top next to it. And I've come to roam the forest past the village with a dozen lazy horses in my cart. I've come here to get high, to do more than just get by. I've come to test the timber of my heart. Well, I've come to test the timber of my heart. And I have come to be untroubled in my seeking. And I have come to see that nothing is for naught. I've come to reach out blind, to reach forward and behind. For the more I seek, the more I'm sought. Yeah, the more I seek, the more I'm sought. And I've come to meet the sheriff and his posse, to offer him the broadside of my jaw. I've come here to get broke, and then maybe bum a smoke. We'll go drinking 2 towns over after all. We'll go drinking 2 towns over after all. And I've come to meet the legendary takers. I've only come to ask them for a lot. They say I've come with less than I should rightfully possess. I'll say the more I buy, the more I'm bought. And the more I'm bought, the less I cost. And I have come to take their servants and their surplus. And I have come to take their raincoats and their speed. I've come to get my fill, to ransack and spill. I've come to trade the harvest for the seed. Well, I've come to trade the harvest for the seed. I've come to know the manger that you sleep in. I have come to be the stranger that you keep. I have come from down the road, and my footsteps never slowed. Before we met, I knew we'd meet. Oh, before we met, I knew we'd meet. And I've come here to ignore your cries and heartaches. I've come to closely listen to you sing. I've come here to insist that I leave here with a kiss. I've come to say exactly what I mean, and I mean so many things. And you've come to know me stubborn as a virgin, and you've come to know me thankless as a guest. Will you recognize my face when God's awful grace strips me of my jacket and my vest and reveals all the treasure in my chest?
Thanks for coming to Sunday Songs. I'll see you next week, and bring a friend. Peace.